Hi guys, welcome to the Couch Talk with Yemi Adela Studios. My name is Shola Ahmad of the Shola Ahmad brand.
Yeah, my name is Tony from Team Fresh Fairs and Events.
My name is Okperemi from Mana Events.
And my name is Arigbede Babajide, Arif's Deco.
Okay, so now let's start the talk. I will go to you, the decorators first. How do you deal with last minute changes requested by event planners? If you want a last minute change, how do you deal with it?
Okay. I think basically it's a major issue. I think what should come first is how we handle the client's request and the event planner's request. That's a very major problem with our events job. But a lot of times you have discussions with the client. The client wants something else. The event planner have another idea. And so when the event planner comes up with last minute change and you know it's not in line with your client's request, becomes a challenge. Again, if the event planner would be ready to adjust the budget at the last minute. So when you have last minute change, you should have last minute adjustment of budgets, which is also a major issue.
Not so. Okay.
I think where we have issues is familiarity. I think that's where the issues comes from. Familiarity, I have access to the client, planner feeling I'm to be listened to, not the client. Then everybody comes with their own idea.
Actually, last minute change comes with last minute increment. When it talks about money, you have to increase your budget. No matter how, you have to increase your budget because the last minute requires more workforce on ground, and probably maybe you have a stage that if a framework stage, this is what I want now and thereabout, that requires you to go out there to get some wood, get some little items to put them together. At that point, it will require more funds to push that kind of event.
Okay, so if I would give you a response to that, I don't agree. Sorry. Because what you build us for is not a product that has like exact precision. So I'll give you an example. If I buy 4 bottles of water, right, and I come and I'll change it to 3 or to 5, it's a product I can immediately see that 4 is no longer 4. But when you build me for decor, it is a blanket figure. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not charging you. I don't know how much you got your wood. I don't know how much you got your paint. I don't know how much you got your this. And I believe that figure should low-key sort of accommodate the possibility of me wanting to change something.
And this is an assumption, it's a perspective from clients, not from us.
Yeah.
Once you give us a job and we give you a bill, it's still a product price, not a blanket price that covers whatever you bring on board. So what if you come on the day of the event and you want me to do something that does not even exist in that blanket price that you think of? Then we'll still going back to the market, getting some other stuffs to fix into what you want me to do.
Okay.
So basically, before we do our bills, it's best you give us whatever you want. We'll factor it into the bill, then we'll go ahead with the job. So as soon as you're changing whatever you want us to do, then be ready to also change the bill.
Okay, I'll let that slide for now.
Okay, there's a question I would like here, that how do you think Ilorin decorators price compared to those from other towns? I think especially Lagos.
How do you guys price?
The price of Ilorin decorators and the price of Lagos, Abuja decorators.
Okay, so are you sitting properly? Because I'm going to hit you with some very hard things. I'm really
No
sorry.
problem.
And this is me saying generally, this is not directed towards you. I'm talking generally as per decorators. The pricing in Ilorin is adequate to the services being rendered. I'm very sorry. It is adequate. The people who have the right to spike up their prices, right? They are doing it, and they know why they are doing it because the services they now render is no longer the standard here anymore. And that's why it makes it seem as if some specific decorators now seem like standouts because they don't do whatever that person is doing. But you see, with regards to the generic thing, the pricing is going to stay the same. Whatever we're even paying right now, be grateful. I'm being serious because the challenge I have with decorators here is Shura Man does an event, TM5 does an event, Silver Tulip does an event, QP does an event. We hire the same decorator. I walk into the same hall, it's the same bloody set of flowers. So you don't expect me, knowing that it's the flower I used for TM last week, you want to use for me. Oh man, no, you're not buying anything.
It might even be the same stage.
You get what I'm saying? No. Do you get what I'm saying? Because it's just rinse and repeat. So let's just rinse the money very well.
But the challenge here is it about the planner that's doing the pricing or the clients?
So even with the decorators, I'm very sorry, they do not even have they don't have the guts to price me because they know they can. Because there are sometimes you show a mood board to a decorator and first 3 days is silence. It's the truth. They are in shock of it because it's not because they don't want to do it, but first the capacity to do it. Let me shatter a table. If Mana, Arabs, and Zain decide that they don't want to rent anything to anybody, you know, there's problem. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's not possible that the others will now say they want to charge the way the two of you charge because you guys have invested in procurement. But understanding that I'm going to hire a decorator who is coming back to come and make Arabs for table, meet Mana for chair.
There are even some decorators who pick from their stage to their own ideas. So they don't have ideas. They just wait.
Yes.
They wait for Mana to construct or Ari to construct.
Where's the camera? I hope they are watching this one. So there are some decorators in this lorry. I don't like the fact that you guys will just go straight to Arabs and Mana. It's like how I call it.
Shola, it's not decorators. Even planners does.
No. See, with decorators is worse because
like,
with planner we can even hide.
Wait.
I can repeat what you did and decide not to post your decor. Maybe I'll post food for that event. But the decorator, you go to the decorator's page and it looks like an item version of the iPhone of the original person.
No, you don't even understand what I'm trying to say. You know when a planner actually gives a decorator like this
okay.
If you do exactly like the exact thing. So now, be like, okay, Mana will charge 5 million or 6 million, like, 10 million for this.
7,000, what's shaking it?
Oh, just 500.
400.
And yes, while your flag. So at the end of it all, if that particular decorator achieves that maybe a bit of out of 100% of what they've done, they feel good continue their money.
Because
actually, I think what the question is trying to talk about is how balancing events in
the pricing here and the pricing from Lagos.
And pricing from Lagos.
I can understand how it is because when we bring decorators from Lagos, we pay them a whole lot more. Why? Maybe because of logistics and all that.
No. I don't want to agree with that.
I don't agree
because I have that challenge with Ilorin planners.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ilorin planners underprice us. And when they have access to decorator from Abuja, Lagos, they pay a lot. Just some few planners in Ilorin knows the value of decorators in Ilorin and are ready to push them
on behalf of my fellow planners for life. So what I feel is this: the earlier decorators fail to start to realize that the figures that we bring to the table is not coming from our pockets. A client is not going to tell me they have a budget of 3 million naira and you tell me you want to collect 10 million naira. Why don't you give yourself to Kony?
But actually, the problem we have is the mood board you people will be coming with. It's not mood board in Ilorin, it's mood board from Abuja, Lagos.
So it has come from Abuja, Lagos because I'm very sorry. There's no mood board.
So now, how do we strike a balance from? How do we strike a balance in between you bringing? I don't know where you got this idea of a mood board in Ilorin because I know they are not paying for such standard in Ilorin.
Okay.
But whichever way, you brought a mood board on. You have the glass floor. You have whatever. You have heaven up. Down and so on.
Okay.
And when you bring it, I analyze it and I say, this job goes for 15 million naira.
Yes.
And by the time you go back and do your meeting with your clients or whatever, you come back and say the client says it's going to pay more than 2 million naira.
Okay, thank you.
And
okay,
I come to tell you that
Okay.
let's adjust the mood board to 2 million naira. And you said that's what the client wants.
Okay.
Okay.
Let her answer before I say
Okay.
something.
I wanted to say something towards that you asked before. Most times it's not about the planner who actually substandard your pricing or something. It's actually the client. Most times, clients who really want to pay huge don't stay in Ilorin. They go as far as where they want. Those vendors they behind. I think you would testify to this. Most times, when they have the capacity to pay more than you think, because I've had series of experiences that I've had clients having an event paying more than 2-digit number millions, and they didn't stay here. They will even be the one to suggest pick out of these 3. You now believe, okay, who can I control out of these 3? Is it Sarao? Is it Decomaster? Is it Alvina? I've worked with Alvina before. I'm just telling you my own experience. So most times we have issues with negotiation sometimes because we are like the middlemen, trying to balance, trying to be in between, not to offend you and still be with the client.
So to say it in layman terms, I think it is important that decorators here, especially in learning, now need to justify the value of the figures that they put. So I'll tell you one thing that I tell even my fellow planners: you need to learn how to scale. Scaling means that because somebody who is doing the same thing that you do has started charging double digits, it doesn't mean you should charge double digits. You might not have the capacity to charge that amount. So the challenge we usually have here is the moment one decorator hears that decorator A collected 10 million for this job, they now feel like, oh, the city can pay 10 million. Then they come to me with 10 million naira pricing for a 1.5 million naira delivery. It's not possible. What I think decorators should do in learning is to match up to this is show your worth. And I feel the easiest way to show your worth is this: when you get a client who pays you 3 million, for example, a client pays you 5 million, give 8 million naira worth of service. You're not doing it because of that client, you are doing it because the next person coming can pay 10. When you do what is worth more than what the client pays, it then makes it easier for us to say, this person did this. Do you get what I'm saying? Because the question is, she will understand, when we go into these rooms with the clients and we put your names forward, the question they ask us is, what have you done? And we can only show what you've done, not what you can do. It's about what have you done. That's what we would have to put forward. That's where the problem lies.
I feel if you really want to think about it, as at last year or earlier years, maybe we beg you with 500,000.
Things are getting better. Give us our flowers.
We beg you with 300,000. We say, please.
So this
do
is
for a
getting
million
better.
naira.
Is it as a result of your input or our delivery?
Both.
But
We are pushing you. I will say for a fact, most decorators right now are starting to hate us because we push you to do a lot of things more than what is even
Paid for.
beyond,
paid for,
yeah,
yes. But the reason is we want to be able to sell you. You know how, so let me tell you, it is easier for us to work with you than for them to bring somebody from Lagos or from Abuja that
now come
have
with
you worked with a
24
decorator that
hours.
they will first send an advanced team.
And he has even rescued me severally.
You
Go
get
crazy because of they are coming out of
Yes.
outside town. And
Okay, I think that's this question that says, what specific issues have you encountered with decorators in the past? And how did those experiences shape your expectations? I
Yes.
think this talks about either pleasant or difficult
yes. So
experiences.
experience number one, I will use let me start with the unpleasant one. I do not like I had an experience once when a decorator took more than what they could chew.
Indigenous,
Yes.
Ilorin decorators.
Yes. So I'll tell you, let me use myself as an example. I'm not going to get a call now and say, Shola, come and plan with Judioba. Do you get what I'm saying? I'll tell them, yes, I can do it, but maybe let me and TM do it together. Because it's a lot for just one person to pull off. I'm not at that level to pull off that event alone. It's just me being realistic with myself. But when a decorator takes more than they can chew, they don't have the capacity to do it. Now, the unfortunate part with how this sequencing goes is clients don't turn to you, they turn to us. They are seeing you standing there, it's us they're going to be shouting at. You get what I'm saying? Which makes it worse. And it took running, you understand, because he was the one around to that day, to save the situation of what was on ground. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's important that if he was not available, maybe he had a job at the time, or you had a job at the time, what would have happened? So, and on the pleasant side, one thing I like about decorators in Ilorin for a fact is you guys put in more time than out of towners. I'm 100 on that. They are used to overnight work. Most times when they come, they want to work, come in on Thursday. I know decorator is moving into venue from Tuesday. Do you get what I'm saying? So in terms of that, it is easier in Ilorin to do a whole reveal than it is to do out of town.
Yeah.
It is way easier here. I give you guys that one.
You said one experience. Well, I had series of experiences, disasters with decorators, not just in Ilorin, sincerely. Well, I was taught a lesson in Ilorin and I felt, okay, let me do outside town because I had relationships outside town. But I was more disappointed. So I had to go back to my roots. And I think majority of the reasons is just like you said, biting more than you can chew, and the insincerity, not being sincere with one another, not just coming straight forward, tell you to your face, my team will be coming, but don't worry, they will do it well.
Yes.
But instead of them saying that maybe because of friendship we developed during the job with Mana, I could say it would be sincere. I have 4 jobs. Don't worry. I would come on the last day, 3 days before my team will be working. Let's review it and be like, okay, Mana, you know you're not coming for this job. So let's review it well. Let's go to the venue. This is what I want. This is what I want. And there are so many minutes corrections. That is when, after I had learned so many issues, learned from so many vendors, to go back to the question. Sometimes you learn and relearn. Sometimes you learn the hard way. Not because people are really bad around you, but because situations warranted you to learn outside and within. Then for you now to stand and to balance your... So now, within those, my learning stage, I was able to come back to my root. Then, now, say, okay, fine. Okay, you that be rescuing me. I think I should stop thinking, what will people really say? Let me just face the job and deliver. So if an outsider is coming now, coming for the job, coming for... Do you get what I'm trying to say? Then I'll just be like, okay, Mana, now you do it. So this is it. What are we going to do? And that is how... So, well, you've helped. Thank you, man. I'm using this opportunity to say thank you, even though you're very stubborn. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. And but one of those things I think that pushed majority of us outside town, maybe we should rectify that, is that we have limited delivery. And any planner really wants to explore. We want to go viral. Nobody wants to be limited in their stage or in their stand.
And our own challenge is limited budget that you give to us.
But we are both selling each other.
This is an input and output
Can I give
thing.
you advice?
Okay.
I took this step at this stage in my career, just when I was an MC, transitioning to become a planner. It's going to be hard, but I think it's the best way to sell yourself. You need to start saying no.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just the bloody truth. Tell me no. If I go back to the client, no is no. If you don't up it, then let's come down to the level that your budget can accommodate. Because see, at the end of the day, let me tell you one thing for a fact. Clients want 300% at 100% payment level. And the point is, one thing I've also learned is he will understand better. You will do a job. Always expect that the client to multiply what they paid you by 3 when I tell to everybody. Hey, you got 15 million from wa. They won't understand that bí wọ́n ṣe ń fi ẹsẹ̀ tún kúnlẹ̀ ní planner ń fi ẹsẹ̀ òsì kúnlẹ̀ la fi ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú 2.5.
Okay, now, if you say they should say no, but you know, there are so many people, upcoming decorators, who want to fall and dance.
In
to
fact,
that
that's
particular
the
thing.
more reason why.
No, no, no.
Why that's the
Who want
more
to
reason.
dance
No,
into that
that's the more
particular
reason why I say no to a lot of things. I say I've said no to about 3 jobs from about
To
2-3
the
days
client
ago.
or
That's
To clients
if you have
directly,
a
not to
direct-
clients.
As we are saying,
Not to
please don't
planners.
say
Yeah.
no to me.
That's where I'm actually
No,
going.
so-
Now, you know the challenge.
That's
You know
what
the
I'm
challenge.
actually
Hold on, Amana. If you say you say no,
Yes.
I'm very sure it won't be a well-known planner. It will be an upcoming planner.
No. I'm not
That's
saying
very
no. I'm not
straightforward.
saying this is a major challenge that if you planners would understand us, we will say more no to you. But why we say yes to some of you, we're not saying yes to the budget, we're not saying yes to the client, but we're
Relationship.
saying yes to the relationship we have. And that's why we take up a lot of jobs
No,
that we're
okay.
not supposed to take.
Okay,
Now,
maybe we should
this
now
is the
go back
point
to-
why I said if you planners would understand us more,
Yeah.
that would help us shape this issue of no.
Okay.
Some of you planners, once we say no to you,
Mm.
you take it personal. And I'm talking from,
Experience.
you take it personal like he rejected my job, not the bill.
You can't even reject my job.
You understand? You know, I was almost saying no to one job before you pulled out another 500 to back up. I don't know how you did it. But
But if you had said no, you know it will cause quarrel.
Eh,
Because you already
that's exactly what
That's
I'm
relationship
saying.
now. That's
Hold on.
relationship.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
That's
we
relationship
both
now.
got the job late last year. And fine, because you have upgraded personally in your head, not to me.
Inside my head.
we now had to like get the job.
No, we're not coming to talk about that job.
And no, wait now. On the day, like 3 days to the event, you now said, team, it's like our refund. And I said, refund.
Money day grant that day.
Yeah, is that not pride? That's pride now.
No.
That's pride.
Actually was as a result of the load of job on that event that got us to that point of saying, this is a lot. Things I can't do
Not
this
we,
way.
you.
Me. I'm talking about my team now. Before you now worked it out, went to the client, you do.
But you didn't emphasize, you didn't show that you, if I didn't work it out, you do it now.
I'll still do the job, but
Uh-huh.
that's why I said it's just based on relationship.
And I've always worked out.
No, it's just most of the yes we say. Let's go back to the issue of saying no to some bills,
Okay.
which is very important to us. Call Funke Bokna now. When you say some bills, it won't come. Call Alvina. When you say
That
some
is-
bills, they will
That's
never
Eh,
pay.
but no, that's
This
the
is-
What I'm saying,
Okay.
you planners should start to say, which some of you are already doing. We can't call manner for this job. We won't take it.
Me, I don't even stress myself with clients.
I
Once I
think-
see your money,
Exactly.
I have a category of
Exactly. So by the time you
now
now bring it on board and we say this thing cannot fly, me I cannot do this job, then you should be able to tell the client that even before I tell him, I knew he won't
say
say.
no. Okay, but now let me put this to you.
Then you won't pick any offense.
Given
the
the
next
same-
job call me, you can still call me back
Okay,
and say,
given
will you
the
do this
same
one?
amount of money, the same amount of money, the same mood board, the same vision, the same quality we should like is on paper to you in Ilorin and to those in Lagos. Why is it that Lagos people still stand out?
You said, why is it that they stand out?
Yes.
It's an assumption that they stand out when you give us a mood board. Give me a mood board, give a Lagos guy a
And
mood
give
board. I'll
us the same.
deliver.
Yes, the 100. Give
It's an
us the-
assumption.
And the same.
They don't stand out. It's an assumption.
So let me tell you.
How they pull us down is not all of us. I'm speaking for few of us that are now upping our game to the Lagos standard. I've been to Lagos. There was a day we did a job inside Whitestone in Lagos, Ikeja, and you saw a job, and I said, this guy is very good, a very popular decorator, very good, and you said it's a lie. You guys can pull it in Ilorin. I argued with you, and this is why. That guy got the job for about 20 million naira in his state, just a 500-seater event. And you know, on that job, you had about 12 carpenters. How much will a carpenter take? But here in Ilorin, when you quote for a job in Ilorin, the best you get is 50% of your quotes. Most of the jobs I quote for, and you know, the best you get. If you say, I'll take 10 million naira for this job, say,
Okay, should I tell you why that
And
is?
they bring
Should I tell you why that is? And I think Sam will agree with me. which brings me to this. A lot of you, I know this about to say, I had a meeting with you, I had a meeting with you, I had a meeting with you. The other day, I spoke to 3 of you individually, I spoke to 3 of you as a collective group because you don't pay attention to your social media. I'm very sorry. Now, I will say this because, and that's why I say Lagos decorators stand out. I have hired Lagos decorators before for an event. I am in the hall, I know what I'm saying. But I look at the same event on social media and I'm like, the way they document is crazy.
They get a personal.
Yes, the documentation is crazy. From the angles to the way.
So this standard is not about delivery; it's about documentation.
So at the end of the day, the way you document is what's going to create continuity with the clients.
Then to even add to it, I think you can't really compare turnout of events in Ilorin. Fine, we are privileged that we are in a city where we have so many parties done, like it's an Owambe city. But when we want to talk about Lagos, majorly Lagos, Abuja is not that party, but Lagos can pay 150 million, 200 million for a setup, and they won't look back and say, what have you done? But even if it's the only thing they need is Oriade in that event, it is done. They don't need too many glossy decor and all. But in Ilorin, we are kind of trying our best to get more exposed, opportunity. We are growing day by day. When I started the event, I knew how it was. Now it's now growing and like that. At the same time, we vendors are growing alongside. We are trying our best to move.
Okay, our continuous appeal is you guys that goes to talk to the clients.
Yeah.
Help us move it up. If you actually want, no, I know some of you are doing it, but I'm not speaking to two of you here.
I'm saying this, and as much as it might be like a story we're talking to general audience,
Exactly.
Yeah.
you are making it hard for us to up it with the clients. I'm being 100.
By the social media.
Yes. So let me tell you one. Okay,
People really want to see.
let me give you a very good example. I have a job that I know how long it took me to stick out my neck to say, okay, this person will do it. The client went as far as saying, Shola, this is on you, right? Do I know that you can deliver? Yes. Does the client know? No.
100.
And even this.
And sorry to cut you short. And the thing is, if you see that the way, I'll use you as an example. There's another party that we did together, right? The delivery we did, pari passu, what was paid does not add up.
Yeah.
That I know for a fact. What was paid and what was delivered, even when I entered the hall, I could not say one thing because I know what I paid. But the challenge, and that's what I was saying the other time, you did that job not because of that job, but because of the other jobs to come. You know how many jobs that job has gotten us?
Obvious.
Because it made it easy. And now, that job would have wasted if documentation was not right.
Yeah.
It was documentation that really sold that job. If you people document right, and you people pay attention to specific details. Now, let me tell you one thing about details that I've noticed. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you are working with a out-of-town people, this thing might be for Fari, but they do it. The person in charge of flour is in charge of flour. Would never climb a pole to fix one wire or anything. But in line decorators, the electrician is the florist. The florist is the driver. The driver is the manager. The manager is even the owner of the branch.
You're right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Maybe that's as a result of the bill. There are still a lot of things. The issue here, Shola, wait, let me know. The issue here is about, wait, Shola, what comes first? The input or the output?
No, in Lagos, right? Even me, I know that what they are doing is karamo. Because the head florist is the decorator's younger sister. The head electrician is the decorator's husband's younger brother. That's how they do it in Lagos. But they'll be coming and be doing floral head. Please check the setup. They'll be using walkie-talkie. They'll be using it to karamo you.
Packaging.
You package. By the time they then document that video and they say, working on kinika.
But do you know that that's what they call detailing to their outside life?
Well,
Because when you
fine.
leave a
It
particular
has
person,
no. I'm not speaking. I'm not saying.
now, hold on now. If you put a particular person to handle a particular duty,
Yes.
you end up supervising that particular responsibility like 100.
Okay, you know what? I do this thing you're saying.
Yes, I know.
I have florists, I have light guys, but I have the carpenters, I have them, different people doing different things. But what I'm saying, even me, at the moment, I'm trying to increase the number of people on Flora, the number of people on the carpenters. We even need more of them. I have about 4 guys. The number of people on lights, I have another team building up another team for light. I have another team on the electricians and so on. But most of the times when you see us on a job and we fail to bring this full squad, is as a result of the budget that we have.
Budget.
And I think let's also wrap up that side that the budget affects. I'm talking for people who are doing quality job. I'm not talking about decorators that are just out to make money and not deliver. Decorators that are not ready to protect their brand, or decorators that just want to copy another person's job and just paste. I'm not talking about them. But in order for you to be creative, money is important. And that's why you can picture any Lagos decorator and say they are better than the Ilorin decorator. Some of you have done it in the past. You have tried it. That you say, okay, Ilorin decorator, Lagos decorator, let's try this guy with a good amount of money, and you could see that would deliver.
But that goes back to what we are trying to say, that, well, we are all growing, and maybe cities is also growing. So we should just believe that with time, personally, our brands are growing to be seen as what we call ourselves. So whenever you say you want 2 digits number for a particular delivery, with time you guys are getting it closely to it, and you are getting it, because with time you are showcasing yourself. Even though I want you to take note of what he has said, that try do more documentation. And I've told you this severally. Get someone who does. Stop depending on planners to do the video for you. Do the videos yourself. Get someone who
We do. Some of us
detailed videos.
we do.
Like, get not. I know that aspect. Get a particular videographer. They are really changing. There was a time I was at a page. I told him, I said, hey, I got 1 ribs. And I was like, am I in heaven or am I net? So what we are going back to with what he has said is still that we are all still growing. The city is growing too. So don't just believe that. Like sometimes I try to show to you that I have defended you behind you, and I even launched the conversation. That okay, see what I even wrote ahead. Like I knew you won't go lower than this, because it's not that we are downgrading decorators. We know the value of what you do. We see it. I know how you guys buy flowers, buy this, try to do more, like inputting more financials or small things into your business. And we are not seeing that you are just doing it. We see that you are trying your best, and we are trying to encourage you to. But
Help us to help you.
yes.
Okay.
So that we won't be talking too much before. So that when we say we want to give to Harry to know, yes, is it? Because some people even say, I remember a client saying, was it Mana that this so event? I said yes. I said okay. Now most events now you ask you which event have you done. So you now start.
Yes. So even as a planner, she will agree with me. Clients would hire you based on what you have done. Because when they tell you, oh, I'm expecting the creme de la creme, do you know how to handle rich people? But don't buy the ready vessel. And that will also matter on based on how we document. If I've done a job for Joe Biden in America and I don't document it, Baba, it's for who? It's evidence that can show that, oh, when America came to Ilorin, we welcome them. That's how it is. You need to document, right?
Actually, sorry, before that question, actually, there's a particular place you planners need to help us very well. We have sections in decor. We have the stage is a section. The body of the decor inside the hall is a section. There's a particular section that makes the difference between Lagos and Ilorin, which is the picture area. The picture arena is a complete, let me just put it, a complete or a separate kind of budget on its own. Right now, the way I'm seeing the way the event decor is going to, the concentration is even more on the picture area than the hall. Because right now, if you're coming into the hall, the things you have seen outside, you'll not even be concerned about what you're going to, as in what you're going to see inside. The moment you get inside the hall, you just see the lightnings and everywhere and thereabouts. Now the outside, the photo area is a lot, even more than even the stage you are building.
I agree with you, but like you said, help us to help you. You guys should learn how to detail your invoices. Detail your invoices. That's one thing I think that Lagos people have over you. You've seen the way Lagos people do their invoices. They take it arena, and that's why I say accountability. You see, with Lagos people, when they send you an invoice, you can know what to expect as a cardinal arrival. They'll tell you 3 trusses on the stage, 2 clinical on the clinical. They will literally list it out for you. So that even you can have a visual imprint of what to expect. If it is not enough, you add up or you reduce. They will tell you the dimension of what your ceiling installation is going to be. Is it 60 by 20 clinical? So when you look at the 60 by 20, okay, you increase it. You tell you as we're increasing it, the monitor is. That is how. See, when that happens, when with getting money out of the client, everything counts. You can't send me an invoice, I write stage, rentals, photo area, 10 million. It's just like you pack money and you just put on it. But when you do breakdown, you write stage, you see stage is costing 4 million naira. The walkway is costing 1 million naira. The photo area is costing. So the client even can tell, okay, if it's over the cost, reduce what is happening in the photo area, increase what is happening here. If you give us proper invoice out, our job is to sell you.
And we'll defend it.
Our job is to sell you.
You know, some people will even ask that, what are you collecting this money?
Yes.
So they want to really feel it. They want to know the reason why you are collecting this huge amount.
Actually, this question is not here, but I might just want to ask, who do you, is it like 80% you are talking to the bride, or you're talking to the groom, or you are talking to the parent? Because most of the times I see that the parent don't see what maybe the bride and groom are seeing. So probably I'm pushing it to you that, do you talk mostly to the parents, or you talk mostly to the couple?
Do you mean in getting the mood board?
In getting the mood board, in getting maybe even the pricing and stuff like that.
Or do you talk to yourself?
So it varies. So it varies in the sense that there are clients that I'll use myself as additional number. The first question I always ask when a client comes in, after knowing what your budget is to know who is handling this budget. Who handles the budget determines the direction in which the commercial is going. Because if Mr. A is paying and Mr. B is talking, I'm wasting my time with Mr. B. Because Mr. A is going to pay what Mr. A is going to pay. Unless Mr. A says, go and talk to B, then come back to me to finalize this. So in some cases, we have cases where the parents will tell you, I'm paying, but go and talk to the children first. Based on what you discuss with them, draw up a budget and let me see what it is. In some cases, the kids will be the one to call you. They will talk with you. You guys will come with the budget. You then take that budget to the parents. Then that's when the slash happens. Do you know what I'm saying? In some cases, it is you and the bride's mom from scratch to finish. The couple are guests at the wedding. They will just come. Which hotel are we staying? They have absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
So a lot of times it is who pays the piper that dictates the tune. So most times it is a question of where the money, we follow the trail of the money. It is where the money is coming from, the instructions we echo from.
You know, this also brings the one we went to meet, I think maybe families that we were talking when it comes to decoration. We say, okay, this particular amount of money for Akasanta. And what the man said was, you go do 200,000 low.
So clients will do that. A client has 100 billion naira in their account. They don't have plans to pay you in time.
Exactly.
So what they need you to do at that point is show off. show value.
For whatever you.
Yes. He would know for a fact. We did a wedding sometime last year because of the worth and the value that he has shown during the course of the job. As I went, we needed to review budgets. The client didn't stress us. We went back and we said, sir, ma, we need an extra XYZ amount because the price of diesel has gone up, the price of this one, that one has gone up. And looking at how the trail of activities had gone on with that client, they didn't stress us. Once, boom, we got our money and we went out of there. I mean,
Yeah.
but that's because he was showing value. If it was a case of value was not brought forth, at the meeting of telling what I want to go somewhere or Brooklyn, I don't know room.
Okay, I think it depends on the expectation of the client. Sometimes you meet with the children, then later on, when it comes to money, you meet with parents.
Yeah.
Then because the parents have an idea of what they are expecting, they agree to terms to whatever you put in. So far,
Not all parents, yeah.
I mean,
If there's money.
expectation, if there is money. So whatever when you are giving them what they want to hear, just like you said, they will be like, okay, no problem. Even if they will tick, it won't be that much.
Yeah.
Because they have an idea in their head and you are speaking those ideas and they are saying it. They are seeing it not physically, but imagination. They are imagining it.
And to help you, TM, this is where documentation comes in. Because we are agreeing. At the point we are talking to parents, where we open your Instagram pages the most. That's what we say, mommy, will be by sharing what she's seeing, that's how we can say, when there's nothing, don't yield the page, there's nothing we want to say. That's it.
Sorry to cut you. I've seen.
Oh, you.
No, I've seen a situation where I've been speaking with a couple and they weren't even vibing. And it ended up being that the mother of the groom or the mother of the bride is the one that is vibing because they are the one hosting the most expensive kinikon. And they'd be like, okay, are you really sure it will deliver?
Exactly.
I remember there was a particular time we are through with our decor, we were done, everything. And Anna came and said, we need blue rug. And we went to the market. We started buying blue rug. Both didn't have money. We're not like, how do we do this? How do we do this? And I called the groom's mom. I said, ma.
No, I already got the blue rug.
Okay,
and you now decided to get the money out. Yeah.
We're now trying to get the money out.
Wow.
Fine, we're done. She had paid us. She was through with payment. The only thing we needed was just the blue rug, just to spice things up. And I was like, funny enough, the bride had issues with me because she felt I was doing too much and it's our wedding. So why am I going, like, buying, doing this, doing that? And at the end of it all, I just called and said, ma, we are through with everything. The stage is ready. Everything is ready. But I think if we put blue rug on the floor, we have tried all that, it will pop out to say, are you sure, Tim? Are you very sure? I'll think about it. Thinking about it didn't take 30 minutes. She said, no problem, go ahead. And funny enough, after this event, we got a serious thank you. I was even dashed huge money after the event not because of the logo, but because the bride that had issues with me eventually saw that I was just after a very successful event and a beautiful event. So sometimes it's not about who we talk to, it's about how you really move into
this space.
Get close to this. Just like he said, get close to where the money is coming from, but not jumping into the money. No. Like moving closely. I mean, a lot more way than okay.
You have to, because the bulk of our job is people management, relationship management, perception management. There are people in the family who feel like, Kini, why should they keep decorator this much? It's our job to manage that perception and make them understand the value that you bring on board. You gotta say, but
even as sorry to cut you. I remember we had an event that the man was talking about Maki initially. They had the money. Even entering that man's house, you see money. From the door, you look at the door before the door can open. Nobody will open it for you. They were talking about bringing Maki to that particular event. And things changed. What happened? Family members, no budget.
No, budget was only from 20, was it 22 million down
not
to
budget. Oh, I think
to
you know he
was-
had a PA.
yes, I know that
that was
the initial
saying,
budget
why
with
would
the
you
man.
buy?
No, the initial budget with the man personally was from about 22 million, and the man was fine, was comfortable with it.
Yes,
At
but
the first
he had
meeting.
a friend who is like a PA who
Oh.
said,
Yeah.
"Don't, why
Yeah,
will you be
always there.
spending instead of using this money to
Always
establish the
Go and use
city?
to build a hall
Now
in the
to
city.
build a hall, Kukuma build hall. Why are you not buying Marquee of something?" This man was so ready, and funny enough, they had power over him because they affected the event before they could see the value. That is it. They saw it as we just wanted to extract money from them. So boiling down to all we were saying together, we're all saying the same thing. It's just that we need to really showcase our job more, like documentation, just like initially.
Okay, let me have this for you. What's your definition for a successful event, and should vendors be fed during an event?
Should vendors be
Fed.
personal perspective about that? I'm going to look at the camera and say this. We at the Chanel Man brand believe that when you send your invoice, you always add what we call a service charge. And that service charge covers different things, from transporting you to the venue, to your logistics, and most importantly, what you eat. When we are preparing budgets for a client tells me that I'm expecting 1,000 guests at an event. Normally, we're going to prepare and do food for, say, 1,002. Now, that 200 markup is 20% of initially what was done, because we are trying to prepare for unexpected people turning up for the event, which is the client's guests, not you people. If I pay, how will I pay you 5 million, 6 million, 7 million, and then you now bring 4 people? It's even demeaning to your brand. To think that you are not there struggling. They've not given us food. They've not paid us. My boys have not eaten. I don't think it is ideal. What I think should be is relationship based. Do I think it is normal to want to feed my vendors? Yes. But is the vendor's food included in what I paid the caterer for? No. I have a case of a friend who is a caterer that a planner came from out of town for an event, and the caterer was feeding Yemi, right? And the planner saw that Yemi was eating and they didn't play the caterer's balance because they believe that it was from the food they paid for guests that Yemi ate.
Well,
Does she have a point? Low key, she does. But the challenge there now is where, like I told my friend as a caterer, if it doesn't argue, is your own food complete? Right? As long as your own is complete, what I do, but clients don't understand it that way. If I pay you, they believe every single thing that gets to that venue is theirs. Look at when we did Turbaning at the Palace. We went with drinks, right? Obviously, we prepared for more than enough drinks. We are done feeding people. Let's move out the cold bar from there. They were telling us everything that entered that palace is for the palace, they must finish.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So, with regards to feeding, I think it's more of a relationship-based thing. Don't come in expectant. Prepare for your boys. Feed them. If we feed them, it is extra. It is extra. But it's not an expect. I hate when vendors are chasing me about and saying, "Six of my boys, they've not." Oh.
Okay, well, that would go well with decorators if we're only talking about decorators, vendors that are decorators.
No, I'm just
Because
talking
actually
for everybody.
vendors.
I'm telling you.
Okay, but for
everybody.
vendors like the music guys, the ushers, the people working, the photographers. Because I've seen a photographer that went to pick, did like he was trying to snap
That's
the
theft.
small,
And
and he went and picked.
He used camera. He wanted
He
to
was
use
trying to
camera.
snap
So you know,
the
use
small
camera to carry
jaws,
small
he just carry
credits
small
and
jaws
moves.
and move.
That's
And-
theft.
Now, I think it's not out of place to have a plan for them. It's a plan.
No,
I
so-
did a job in Lagos, in 10th degree in Lagos last month, and it's a plan. We're not saying it's compulsory, but if it's possible, make a plan. You guys are planners. Plan
So,
it. Help us. Let me say my
Oh, yeah.
side of the story. Help us plan.
Okay.
Plan.
Let me
If
ask
it
you
doesn't work out, it's fine.
So is it?
So the planner there, Ruth and Sheba was a planner.
Let me use you as an example. You are currently complaining that a client is pricing you down. The person who is not willing to pay your complete money is the person that will not make provision for food for photographer.
No, I'm just saying, wait, let me just say it. That planner, Ruth and Shiba in Lagos, said they are pressing the planner to do a casual food for vendors. That's a takeaway pack for vendors. But if the food does not come, no vendor should be seen with the guest.
Yes.
Fine, it's fine. But you as planners, we're not saying you are right or wrong.
So how
Help us make plans. Because most of the times, it is very difficult for you to move out your guys to say, let's go and get food outside. It's usually very difficult.
Okay, but
So if you make a plan for us,
what
it would help
say to things
on
like
the job.
this. I think being too entitled is affecting.
It's not about being entitled
Hold on
now.
man, hold on. Because I've seen situations that, I preach it to my team that, okay, if there is food, fine. If there is no food, fine. It's not a compulsory thing. Like,
TM, how many times do you eat at events?
I don't even eat.
Me. They will bring the food like this and say, even the food
drinks.
vendors, they even like to want to show us that they have delivered. Like, oh, I made a plate of clinical for you. It can be at the point that they are showing you that somebody will just pass and say, latte con, me or clinical. Do you guys say, somebody will not come and say, we are 8 people from the decorators team. We've not eaten every
In fact, we're usually 16. We're usually about 16 in case you need to make plans for us.
Okay, now, let's say you're 500. Can one free decorators 16? Band 25 people. Media team 8.
And they want the food before people start eating. Like,
Okay,
people start
so conclusively, don't let's waste time on food. You are not giving us food. It's fine. Eat your food. Eat your food. You are not giving us food.
Let's clarify this.
Hold on, please. Hold on.
Sorry.
Okay.
This thing you're saying right now, I have an event that's coming up.
So you are not going to give
No.
us food. You are not going to give us food.
No, I am planning.
Okay.
Not to give us food.
No, and I asked the question, what's the plan for vendors' food? We sorted everybody, but I think we should make plans for these vendors because especially because a lot of the vendors are overlapping, they are working for a very long time. Let's make plan. And the client then said, send me a breakdown of vendors that are working. I'll show you the list. It's 165 people.
That's a big event. That's a big
So
event.
165 people.
No, and it's always like that. And it's always like that.
So you
It's like-
eventually decide not to give us
the
food.
165 people on their own is somebody's wedding.
No, he's not saying he's not giving you guys food. He's
No,
just
I'm
saying
working on
that
it.
it's actually a lot.
Then
Then I want to even add to something. Most times you even give, just like you said about takeaways, you give some vendors takeaway and be like,
no, it's not what it's at
party food,
place.
yeah, go.
I want it.
No,
Those
now.
snail, those skinny
No, you know that's why you have bouncers on your event.
No,
So
forget
Now,
about that. Let's be realistic.
you will not be able to remove
That's
serious
realistic. It's very realistic that most people don't want that takeaway. They rather take that takeaway home, and because there is a possibility.
and they
that
feel
those
insulted
takeaway-
about it.
Yes.
They be like,
Take it more
no, it's
personal.
like this. I'm like, this is your food. Okay.
But how do you now manage when it comes to the musicians?
Musicians don't power time, no,
Even the condition.
Before they sing.
Even
They request for food.
They are the one performing last. So at the time when the MC is working, they should be the latest booker. They should chop.
Uh,
But for musicians, I think is now
Because they always
a
a lot.
No, it's
now
not a
even
law to their own. No.
It's a law.
You must
Like,
give
must
Their
them food.
clients, you must give them
Give
a
them-
specific alcohol and food.
No, so if I'm dealing with big bands, right? If I'm dealing with big bands that have
Like
sent
Wasi
me.
they don't ask for food.
What's it not going to stress you? Sonny will not stress you. They will not stress you.
Sonny-
So a
Yeah,
live band that doesn't have an
Sonny-
Instagram page is now stressing my life. No,
Even though
it's not
Shuba,
happening.
this our
vendors food
dog
is not vendors is not a vendors food
Let me
is
ask
not a
you.
compulsory.
What's your definition for a
then maybe we
successful
should.
event?
To go back to it, maybe majority of your team shouldn't stay after work. Maybe 2 people because of the lights, so that the whole
It's
room
not
will
only
be too
lightning.
crowded.
It's not only lightning.
It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like
And
that.
maybe 4 out of the 20 because everybody takes a table and they become event guests after the event.
Sorry. To build up, before I go to successful event, to build up what you just said, let me use the opportunity to address this to the decorators and to all events vendors that are watching this. I beg you. Those that work with me know who one leg is buying my head. I'll send you out. But I think it's very important that people know their limits, their boundaries, and why exactly they are there. I cannot be having an after party and as I'm trying to say to the groom's friend, don't get drunk. I'm there trying to manage the decorator's boy. It's annoying. And the only reason why I don't always get ballistic with them sometimes is maybe this boy is gonna work for me next week. But I think it's important that you put a leash. And what causes this the most times is by the time we get to that point, most of you as the lead creatives for your brands are no longer around. Then you then have your boys dancing and creating a scene. It's annoying. Put a strict instruction. I've agreed now. My new plan going forward in this new quarter of the year is any planner. I just need one video. Once I show it to you as a decorator that your boy is dancing like this, it's going out of your dollars. So you know what I do for like 1 or 2. When you are going, you will tie rope like this with all of them. Because it's important. So it's the overall aesthetics. You get what I'm saying? Same thing with Kishra's boys. That thing is annoying. They are everywhere. It's annoying. I'm not even saying. Let me even tell you the craziest part. I'm not even saying you should not drink or enjoy yourself. Put yourself in a corner. You came with a van. You came with something. Be there. I don't mind sending you bottles. I don't mind sending you food. Be there. But don't come into my party and feel like it is our party.
It's our party. And start picking pockets with style too.
Yes, that one too. So you say successful event. How do I define a successful event? A successful event to me is most importantly when the client is happy with deliverables. That's my KPI. You get, for me, when a client walks into the venue, I study body language. Because there are some clients who are not expressive. They like what they see, but they just don't know how to talk. They wait till after the event. So I study body language. But for those who are expressive, they talk immediately and tell you exactly, oh, I love this, oh, I love that, oh, maybe this could have been this, maybe the body was fantastic. So for me, the client being happy is priority. The vendor doing the needful, for me, is success. So the needful is, nothing excites me more than when I tell a vendor to jump 10 and they jump at least 11. I like when the vendor does a little bit more. Now it just shows me that there's space for more. That's it, there's space for more. When you do more, I know you can accommodate more, and I know I'm willing to pay you more subsequently. Then success for me too is the overall experience of attendees. Because I've seen cases of weddings where the bride and groom are excited about everything, but the audience can have a terrible experience. The bride and groom like everything that they see. Let me use a wedding I had done in my early days. The bride and groom were all about pictures and a beautiful decor. So going there, it's not their business. So when they came into the hall and it was beautiful and photography was going on, like you are the planner of the year. They don't care with every other thing. But the attention to food that they needed to, so we made preparation for food for 500 because we were expecting 300 people, but we had about 800 guests at that event. You see that there's a chaos going on already. They don't care. Even when you're going to meet them to say, this was good, they are unbothered. They're like, you have given me a fantastic wedding. So the experience of the guests, because at the end of the day, like I always tell people, my next client is sitting in that guest. So it's very important that I manage that right. And success for me above all is when everybody gets the due, I don't want to just use the word payment, the due, payment is not value, the due payment as at when due. Nothing is harder than working so hard for a client that you will now start doing really to catch up with money that you worked for. It's very annoying. So for me, that's a successful event.
Okay, successful event is when we get our balance as our wedding. Okay, so a roll of rug is about 600k.
One.
You get a 500-seater hall done. A VIP setting inside a 500-seater hall, you won't get more than 200 guests.
Okay. So it's 3 now.
It's 3.
What was that one?
Then you need about 10 bunch of flower to make a flower vase.
Flower.
10
bunch.
Okay, that one is true.
We have three.
Yeah, what's the other thing?
Roll of rug is 600k. A hall of 500 guests. You set a VIP, you can't get more than 200. then you
I was
need
very questionable.
ah
You want actually flush out. I want to share a couple.
no VIP setup. We're talking VIP setup.
Okay.
Then 10 bunch of flower for a vase to get a
Should we go with that? So,
which one is a lie there?
So I think the lie is a row of rug is 600.
You missed
you missed it.
Yes,
that's the price.
It's 600k now.
600K.
Yes. So you match it carefully next time you see a roll of rug. It's even over 600k.
I will use 2 sometimes.
Are you serious? So what's the lie?
Shereni,
So which one is like?
the lie is that you set 200 guests in the 500-seater hall.
It's more than.
Yes. Why didn't you pick it as a lie?
Yeah, but I thought of you can actually set that 200 guests in the 500.
Yes, it's questionable.
No. If you want to set a VIP, it can't be. It can't be more than double. It can't be more than double.
Double.
It can't be more than double.
Ah,
No, if you have a 500-seater hall and you want to do a VIP thing, it will be double.
But this is 100.
So it can be. It's 6 plus. It's about 650. No, it's about 650.
That's the beginning.
So you that means you trusted the Tinubu economy. Okay.
It's coming. I'm just trying to find it.
Say it, Palmer. We know it.
Okay. Money discussions is always harder with the dads than the moms. One.
Money discussion.
It's always harder with the dads than the moms. One. Two.
One lie.
Yes, no.
One lie.
The bride's family is always easier to work with than the groom.
The bride's family
is easier to work with than the groom family.
3. Getting quality coordinators is very hard.
No. Getting quality coordinator, these are questionable issues, but everything you have said looks like a lie.
No.
But if we pick the liest, or if we pick everything looks like a lie. Getting quality coordinator is not difficult. You pay, you get a good coordinator. Yes. So, it may be difficult for you, but if you consult us, we know how to help you. What's money? Just bring the money on what we get you. So, no. Growth that is usually simpler to do money discussion with. Just go straight to the point. This is how much I can afford. That's all. That's simple. So that's a lie.
Okay, so that's not a lie. The fathers are the hardest to talk to with money. The women always have the demands.
It depends on what you call hard. Because the fathers are the simplest.
No, so
they go straight to how much they have.
No, so hard is the women have demands.
And they go to parties. So
but the father,
so most times
the group's dad usually go straight to this is as much as I have.
It's hard with the dad. The mom is the one that goes to party, so she knows what is obtainable. The dad doesn't go out, so he doesn't understand why you are going to understand.
But he just goes straight to he just goes straight to how much I have.
When we went to that meeting, what did I say?
But no, if it's difficult, you just the most dads that I met, they say this is what I have.
I purposely said that.
Probably that is one out of all.
Talk about money. That is why I don't privilege to talk to the mother about money.
No, I purposely said that because I have to look for a line that will to justify you were that meeting. How long did it take us to convince that man? The lie is I said talking to the grooms that
a liar must have a wide memory. A liar must have a very wide memory.
Talking to getting quality coordinator is hard. It's easier to work
with the bride's family.
It's a bloody lie.
That's a lie.
It's a bloody lie.
But you know everything looks like a lie.
No, it's not. She won't understand because she's a planner.
No, the card Shola played. he gave us 3 lies
No!
that are justifiable. You can.
questionable.
Do you agree with me? With the gross that, let me tell you what.
If he has to prove the other lies too, all the,
But sincerely, you had an experience of
he can actually prove the other lies.
a bride.
It's okay.
But he
It's
also
okay.
have an experience with the
It's
bride
okay.
with
It's okay.
No.
That's simple.
So is it with us? So let me tell you why I say it's harder. Which is what comes back to what we were saying the other time. When you give us a budget of 5 million naira, when you go to the mom can say, we are going to fall.
I think
When
it's about
you get to
personal
the dad will tell you straight up 1 million naira. Come back with 1 million. People will not spend a lot of time. The bride will have to go to her dad. The mom will have to go to the same man. We will not come back.
Okay.
You're killing
Two, three, go.
Nigeria, we ready. I hold the native land. No tribes are done ready. In brotherhood we stand. That's my case. La 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 la.
Let's be back.